Bitcoin's jumping and booming. So is the stock market off of the vaccines that are coming through. Doesn't matter whether you believe in them, they're going to work or not. They're not going to do anything, but they are going to make the market boom, which is what they've done in the stock market. But at the same time, we have Bitcoin jumping to a record high, hitting 20K. Here's the market as of early morning on November 30th. We've got over 20K. The price there is still showing a little bit low. There's always a little bit of a lag between what's actually shown on the graph, but we've actually hit 20K, which I believe is for the very first time for Bitcoin. And Bitcoin climbed to a record, taking less than 3 years to replicate the euphoric ascent. In the past, the world's largest digital asset rallied 8.7% to 19,857. So it's close enough. We're going to say 20K, put our birthday hats on, pushing this year's surge to 170%. It's gone a little so crazy that even shares of companies with exposure to cryptocurrencies also jumped. Marathon, Riot Blockchain, each rising at least 22%. MicroStrategy, a software company that has been buying Bitcoin, added 20%. Even my stock market stocks that have been dumped 6 months ago are getting a big boom on what's going on. Bitcoin's moment has arrived. Well, we've heard these things before. This rally could still have quite a ways to go. I think the big picture is medium term, from a year or two from now, to be able to just get up to this 20K mark. It already was here a couple of years ago, and then it back down, which I'm expecting it to do. Again, personally, I think this is a good time to take some profits on this and wait for it to drop back down, which I fully expected to do. But I just think psychologically there's another big point here for it to come back after it was down so much earlier in the year. Here's a chart over 1 year. Went down to 5,000 in March. Kind of interesting where even BTC got hit with the pandemic. And between 5 and 6,500 is where I bought some in earlier this year. Also doing the same in the stock market. But just seeing this go on this way is absolutely insane. In one sense, this is nothing new. We know that BTC is here to stay, but being able to get over or up to this 20 again, I believe is a big deal, especially knowing that a dark winter and more insanity is going to go on into 2021 with these fake lockdowns. They're not going away with the vaccine. So the big boost that's happened in the stock market is going to definitely have a bit of a correction for sure. The powers that be with the Great Reset have already said when the vaccine comes, you're still going to keep the lockdowns and this whole fake demic going on. So that's not going to change. But many times that doesn't matter. What matters is perception and the feelings of where the market is, and that's why the vaccines have had a big boost on this entire month of November, which is for the stock market, but it's also for Bitcoin as well. It's also garnered quite a lot of force and push and excitement to bring it up to 20K again. Let's get into some of those factors that make this different. And some of these have already been around for a while, but a lot of them have come through even more so during this unbelievable dictatorship that we're going through worldwide. First factor, hedge against out-of-control governments. We've seen, even in the Western world where we didn't think banana republics were possible, or literally dictatorships, and that is not pejorative, that is not an exaggeration. Look at New Zealand or Australia. And we're about to get that here in the USSA, January 20th. There's going to be more of this extreme insanity here, and that's one of the main reasons for Bitcoin in the first place, isn't it? Going back long ago. It's a hedge for your freedom. Number two, hedge against the out-of-control central banks. We have modern monetary theory, which is just nothing more than, hey, we can print whatever we want. And we can print as much money as we want, bail at everybody, give everybody a free lunch, and, well, everything hasn't collapsed yet. So this is now turning into an actual real working. It's not a theory anymore. It's actually a practice. It's transitioned, and that too, just like number one, is one of the main reasons for Bitcoin is the hedge against the quantitative easing, the easy printing of money, the Burr machine going off whenever they want, and it's so out of control now. And they've got the perfect excuse for the pandemic. And if you ever wanted an extreme example where it has become the norm, this is the new normal. Insane governments and insane central banks, the only buttressing the original point of why Bitcoin came to be in the first place. Third factor is ever increasing institutional demand. This has been going on for a number of years, but it's even more so now, and it's just not stopping, and it's just keeping going. And that's one of the reasons for its price getting pumped up to 20K. It's the psychological and the real factor of the institutional money. And even if it isn't so much just the money, it's the further acceptance. It's come a long way. And there's more steps to be taken with that, and they're actually happening. We can hear those footsteps. This is a big deal. And following up on that, you can see traditional financial firms have sought to capitalize on the increasing institutional demand. Fidelity Investments launching a Bitcoin fund earlier this year. PayPal, which is number 4 factor, decision in October to allow customers to use cryptocurrencies was seen as opening it up to an even wider audience. Right here, you now have numerous ways for institutional investors to get exposure to crypto using regulated exchanges or instruments they are comfortable with. And most of these new ones did not even exist 3 years ago when Bitcoin had hit 19.5, just under 20K. So in closing, this is just another step, huge step forward for various reasons to close out this year. Bitcoin traditionally has also done well at the end of the year. I would suspect where things are going to go quite fine throughout December, even with some modest corrections. As far as next year, well, things in a dark winter might have some other corrections. But if there's any other main corrections, it just means there's more time to get into Bitcoin. So until next time, I'll wish you the best of goodbyes, as Paul Kangas used to say. And until next time, be seeing you